For our show, it's time to get into our lightning standings. Eric, let me hear you. Get excited. All right, that's a callback from season 1, right? We're talking about the NBA right now. They're really halfway through. We're looking also for the springtime for their playoffs. So where do we stand for the NBA? Well, there's a couple of kind of newer names. Maybe not surprises so much, but some new players that we aren't always accustomed to seeing at the top of the list. So Eric's going to take over the West. I got the East. We're going to break it down for you on where these teams are at in early February. Eric, go for it.
All right. So as Ty said, I am dealing with the Western Conference, and as it should come as no surprise, the Golden State Warriors are first place, and they are 38-15. Followed closely behind is the Denver Nuggets. They are 2 games behind, which is going to be a little bit of a shock. It's a very good young team. They can play really, really well. Unfortunately, when they went up against Golden State a couple of weeks ago, they got their brains beat in. And so I think Golden State really asserted their dominance. But still as it stands, the Denver Nuggets are the number 2 team in the West, 37-18. Followed by Oklahoma City, who's actually been surging quite a bit. They are 9-1. 9-1 in their last 10, and they have really moved up the list here.
Wow.
So they are sitting at number 3, 35-19. Then you actually have a bunch of teams over their last 10 games that are all 7-3 that are really holding tough here. Portland, 33-21. Houston, 32-22. Utah, 31-24. And then starting to get down there towards the bottom of the Western Conference playoff picture, you got San Antonio, 32-25. Los Angeles Clippers, 30-26. Now, outside of the playoff picture, I'm just going to do games behind here. So you have a full game behind is Sacramento, 2.5. The Lakers. And Dallas really starts to fall off there. They are going to be 3.5 back. And then you have some other teams that are much further back. So Minnesota, New Orleans, Memphis, and Phoenix rounds out the very bottom of the West at a whopping 11 wins and 45 losses.
You'd think Memphis and New Orleans Pelicans, that maybe they would get back in there, but not really seen much. And then with LeBron over in the West Coast, 28-27 for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, all 3 of those teams you mentioned have a lot of trade issues and things going on. And there was a lot of trade talk there with New Orleans and Anthony Davis leaving, and Memphis with Gasol getting traded, as well as the Lakers. Who were they going to bring in? So at this point, I would almost say the Lakers are probably going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, over in the East, you mentioned a 9-1 for the last 10 games going on with OKC. Well, hey, Milwaukee will see your 9-1. They're on a 5-game win streak at the best in the East, 40-13. Look out for those guys to make some noise come springtime. Toronto, though, 40-16. You got 36-19 for Indiana Pacers. The Boston Celtics at 35-20. Also, along those lines of 35-20 is Philadelphia 76ers, looking good this year. Mm-hmm. You can't say they're in rebuilding now. They are in playoff mode. So look out. Brooklyn is at 29-28, practically at 500. Charlotte is hanging around at also that 500 mark, 26-28, a couple games behind. Miami Heat, 25-27, also 25-29 is the Detroit Pistons, and Washington Wizards at 23-32. We're also looking at 23-32 for the Orlando Magic, and the Hawks at 18-36 down in Hotlanta. Then we get to some really bad numbers. You thought maybe the last couple of teams, they need some help. 13-42 for the Bulls, 11-44 for the Cleveland? Yeah, they're no good. They're a lost cause.
The LeBron-less Cleveland Cavaliers.
Exactly.
And they transition quickly to
and
that.
It gets worse. You mentioned Phoenix. I mean, they're 11-45. We have an 11-44 with Cleveland. The worst team in the league, though? What's the one we didn't mention? New York Knicks, 10-44, winless in their last 10 games. Eric, they are 15 in a row on a losing streak. Ugh.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That is one of the worst losing streaks I think I've ever seen in a professional sport.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way it was drawn up there.
No. I mean, the Suns are challenging. They're 0-12 in their last 12. So.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our show. Before we completely wrap it up, though, we always like to talk about the best games to watch, what's coming up. We've only talked about sports that have actually happened. So, Eric?
Yeah, I put together a good bunch of games here. We talked a lot about hockey, so I'm going to skip that. If you guys want to check out the card for that, please, by all means, go ahead. But there are 4 top 25 matchup this Tuesday, the 13th. So please, or excuse me, the 12th, Tuesday the 12th. Please tune into that. There are 4 top 25 matches going on that night, so there's definitely something for you to watch. Also, number 3 UVA and number 11 Virginia Tech play on the 18th. And so that's a rematch of the first time when Virginia went ahead and beat up on Virginia Tech. Then you have the Celtics and the 76ers also on Tuesday. So if you don't want to watch college, you got some pro basketball. And then the Jazz and the Thunder on the 22nd. So you can tune into that as well.
All good games. Thank you, sir. And that is going to do it for this episode of Average Sports with Average Guys.
That's right, guys. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Please send us your thoughts, show ideas to avgsportsguys@gmail.com. And please check out our Facebook page where you can vote on your favorite stadiums. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.